Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Midday News. This bulletin is coming to you live from the Joy 99.7 FM studios, Kokomlimle in Accra, at digital address GA0993341. Also live on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, affiliates across the country, including Pad FM in Dalmongo, Jubilee FM in Keta, and Sunshine FM in Boko. It's on ABN Radio in London, around the world at myjoyonline.com. The news is brought to you by UMB Bank, UMB Speed Up, DigiBank. Let's go. In this edition, 2 senior high schools closed over riots in the Upper East region triggers an emergency meeting of all school heads of second cycle institutions. We'll be live in the region for updates on that particular meeting. And then we head to the Western region where 5 persons arrested, including Chief of Upper Diskov, after they allegedly kidnapped the Chief of Lower Diskov and his 4 subjects.
4 people have been arrested. They've been questioned and currently they are on bail. Nana Himadechi also reported himself to the police yesterday evening around 6:30.
Meanwhile, President Akufo-Addo is heading to the Western region. We'll get a live update. Minority in Parliament questions presidency's handling of the exit of a former IGP and the subsequent appointment of COP Opom Bonua as acting IGP. We'll hear from the Deputy Minority Chief. And also, do interns face real challenges or changes on the job? And what does it take to be one? We'll hear from some of them here at Multimedia. And also in sports.
Former Kotoko CK Akono hints at a legal battle against the club after rejecting his technical director role.
We have all that and more coming up here on the Midday News with me, Emefa Apau. And in our very first story, all heads of senior high schools in the Upper East region are currently in an emergency meeting with the head of the Regional Security Council to find an amicable solution to the spate of riots in second cycle institutions there. On Monday, the Congo Senior High School in the Nabdam district was closed down following riots by students of the school. The riots are said to have been started by students of 2 ethnic groups in the school after a disagreement ensued between 2 of them. Now, this comes a week after the Sandema Senior High School was closed down following a riot that led to the death of 1 student. Now, there have been many of such riots in the last 1 year in several other schools there. Upper East Regional Minister Paulina Abayage says the situation is now a security concern which must be addressed, and she's doing so with the school heads. Albert Sorry joins us on the phone lines with details of that meeting. So, Albert, I know the meeting is still ongoing, but do you have any information on some of the recommendations that have been made so far?
Yes, so the minister has actually described this meeting as a crisis meeting because they feel that the frequent riots in the senior high schools are becoming one too many. And one of the things they are trying to do at the moment is to find a lasting solution, to find the reasons why these students keep rioting and what could be done to end these riots once and for all. I'm getting signals that the meeting could finish in the next 30 minutes or so, but I can say that all the senior high school heads are currently at the Regional Coordinating Council where the meeting is currently ongoing.
But largely, though, how about school authorities? We've heard from the regional minister, we've talked about her, but the school heads themselves, what have they been saying about this situation?
Yes, so in Sandema Senior High School, for instance, where 1 student died last week, the headmaster felt that these things are usually very difficult to contain. It is the reason why they called the police to the school in the first place. In Congo Senior High School, the headmistress there is also very concerned because sometimes even controlling these students is very difficult. And one of the things they are trying to do is to see how the regional police can help to help them control some of these things that occur in the schools.
Now, parents also, I'm sure, will be concerned, as well as the students themselves, whilst we wait for the recommendations from this security meeting. Do we know what their thoughts are?
Yes, so Congo Senior High School was closed down yesterday, and for parents in that who have students in that school, is going to affect the students. One of the concerns is that the final year students, for instance, will soon be writing their final exams. And so if, students' lives are always even in danger because only a handful of the students cause these riots and put the rest of them in danger, and sometimes everyone gets affected. So many of the parents are concerned that if this thing is not checked, their students or their wards who are in the schools are going to suffer at the end of the day.
So do we know who and who, apart from the heads of these schools and the regional minister, are in this meeting?
Yeah, so we know that the police are here. We also have the district and regional education directors as well as the headmasters of the schools. These are the people who are the core of the meeting. But I've also seen some teachers outside of the conference hall as well.
Okay. You heard there our correspondent Albert Sorry monitoring that meeting in the region. We'll get more as and when the meeting gets done. But let's stay in the north because the police in the Savannah region have announced a 10,000 cedi reward for any person with information leading to the retrieval of a white Toyota Hilux belonging to the Regional Coordinating Council. As you know, the regional minister claimed the vehicle was stolen by robbers, but the NDC in the region are skeptical and demanding and the minister ensures the vehicle is found. We'll speak to the Northern Regional Police PRO, Yusuf Tanko. Yesterday, the NDC in the region also held that presser talking about this particular situation. We're yet to hear from the minister himself on this particular matter. But let's head to the Western region now because 5 persons have been arrested in connection to the alleged kidnapping incident of the Paramount Chief of Lower Diskof, Nana Kwesi Agyemang the 9th. The 5 included the Paramount Chief of Upper Diskof, Nana Hima Dechi, the 14th, and now they were arrested for forcibly breaking into the palace of Nana Kwesi Agyemang the 9th, and together with 4 of his subjects. Public Relations Officer of the Western Region Police Command, Olivia Adiku, has been speaking to Joy News.
4 people have been arrested. They've been questioned and currently they are on bail. Nana Hima Dechi also reported himself to the police yesterday evening around 6:30. He was also questioned and he's currently on bail. Investigation continues. The security presence at the place because of the incident that happened. Police have to continue to patrol the area to ensure that the calm that is restored still continues.
You have there the Public Relations Officer of the Western Region Police Command, Olivia Adiku, there bringing us up to speed on that. We know that Obrimpong Hima Dechi, the 14, told Joy News that he was going to turn himself in, and truly that has been done. And 4 other persons have also been arrested as a result. But the Western Regional House of Chiefs have also released a statement today condemning the violence that took place in Diskof. We can hear from Awulai Amihi Ekpanyeli III, who is acting president of the Western Regional House of Chiefs.
We condemn what had happened. Whatever happened is going on there. For chieftaincy, this is not how we solve our issues. We don't get into fighting and to that level. So basically, we condemn the violence of it. We are asking for support from the institution and from any other institution to actually get into it and find out what happened and resolve it if we can. So we are also doing our investigation and wish this never even got to this far. But it had happened, and whatever the cause is, we try to find out. And also, we pray that nobody will take the law into their own hands. We don't want anybody to go for tit and tat in this case.
You have Awulai Amihi Ekpanyeli III, who is acting president of the Western Regional House of Chiefs. Let's stay a while longer in the Western region because President Akufo-Addo is in the region for a sword cutting ceremony. My colleague Inathalia Kwanza will join us shortly with details of that. You're still listening to the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM, and Inathalia Kwanza has joined us on the line. Ina, so before we talk about the sword cutting ceremony, though, what's the situation in Lower and Upper Diskof?
Hello, Emeka.
Hello, Ina. I'm saying that before we talk about the sword cutting ceremony, though, what have we picked up in terms of what the current situation is in Lower and Upper Diskof?
Yes, so there is security there, so monitoring situations there. But we also understand that the chief of Upper Diskof has turned himself into the police, and he has written a statement, and he has also been given bail together with 4 other people.
Now, let's talk about that ceremony that you're currently at, where the president is expected to cut a sword for the construction of a landing beach.
No, the construction of the landing beach will take place tomorrow, but the president has visited the Twyford company, ceramic company, where he has cut off for the second phase of the project, which is going to be commissioned in September.
You heard our Western Regional correspondent Ina Thalia Kwanta. Now, moving on, the minority in Parliament is raising concerns over the presidency's handling of the exit of former IGP David Asante Appiah and the subsequent appointment of COP Opong Benoit as acting IGP. Mr. Asante Appiah was ordered to proceed on leave with immediate effect yesterday, barely 24 days to his retirement, which was extended by a year. Now, Deputy Minority Chief Whip Ibrahim Ahmed says this affects the professionalism of the police service. He also finds it strange the former IGP, who was recently asked or handed a contract extension, will be asked to proceed on leave when it is almost due.
I would say in this game, how you enter is how you exit. The fundamental of all this is when you have a president who is suffering from indecision. But that's when you are not decisive enough. Then it means you are not certain about the one you are giving the position to. So all that you can say to come and act. So once you are acting, then I'll be doing certain things. And that one will give me the appointing authority, the opportunity to be pushing you left and right, center, because you are on approbation. And once that one is happening, it means if I tell you to do A and you do B, it means you don't qualify. And who owns the marking scheme? It's the appointing authority. So it is not good for the country, but it is good for the president. The man was to go on retirement and you brought him and gave him on contract. If you are not impressed with somebody's performance, why do you give him on contract?
Now, he's also been speaking about other issues, including how the police CID handled the investigation on former secretary to the Interministerial Committee on Illegal Mining, Charles Bisu. Mr. Bisu, as you know, was exonerated by the police. The only time that just one out of the many investigations that the CID, Anna Nanadu, has embarked upon, any successful one where they have come out to say something apart from clearing those who have appeared before them, even when they were caught on tape. And this is where the president should have been very decisive and bold enough to act in such a way that Ghanaians will not have only the confidence in him himself, but to have the confidence in the police service as a whole. The Ghana Police Service is one of the best on the African continent. So when those things are happening, it calls for serious attention. That why is it that our police service, which was just going very fast, is now on the descendancy? It calls for serious concern, and that's why security experts are not talking. Everybody is now demoralized in such a way that they are surprised at what is happening. Our president and high-powered delegation have gone to London. They've been attacked, insulted. The videos have gone viral. That, oh, we saw this man is like this, we saw him taking bribe and all those kind of things. Then you come and refer those issues to the police service. They have kind of though, there was no wrongdoing. What are you telling the
I think the CID
people?
Didn't do a good job.
I don't think. That is what Ghanaians think, and that's what the whole world think.
You had the Deputy Minority Chief Whip Ibrahim Ahmed there, but so what does COP Opong Benoit, who is a 5-time Director General of different departments within the police service, bring to the position? Head of Joy News' Security Desk, Gifty Andro-Appiah, takes a look at the profile of the Deputy IGP now acting in this News Desk report.
The acting IGP is among the top 5 tipped for the position by security analyst Adam Bona. He shares the space with COP Beatrice Veb-Sanziri, COP Tiwa Adodankwa, COP Christian Yohunu, and COP Kofi Boache. For now, it seems he beats them to an acting capacity, which also seemed a natural progression, seeing that he was Deputy Inspector General of Police. COP James Opong Benoit turns 61 on the 8th of October this year, a year above retirement. He joined the police service in 1988 and rose through the ranks from Chief Inspector, Assistant Superintendent, Superintendent, Chief Superintendent, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, Commissioner of Police, and until his appointment as acting IGP, Deputy IGP. He has been in the police service for 31 years and was the first Chief of Staff to the IGP in 2002 after he served as personal assistant between 1990 and 1996. He has served served as regional police commander for the Accra region, the then Bono Hafo region, and had stints in Tema, where he served as district commander and regional traffic officer. COP Bueno holds a master's in human rights and was called to the Ghana Bar in 1984. Between 1984 and 1986, he also taught criminal law and criminal procedure at the Ghana Police Academy, becoming legal advisor to the police service in 1996 to 2000. With his legal background, the acting IGP also served as advisor for the police service, having had stints with the legal department of the Agricultural Development Bank from 1986 to 1988 before he joined the police service. On the international front, COP Bueno has headed the police component of the United Nations hybrid operation in Darfur, Sudan, and served in East Timor and Mozambique. Information from security analysts at Security Warehouse indicates he is a gender-balanced champion in his own right, as he is known to have personally facilitated appointment of female officers into command positions. As Accra Region Police Commander, he supervised the 2008 elections. Security analysts have already raised concerns about the lack of a substantive IGP at what they call a crucial time for security in the country. It is unclear how long COP Bueno will be acting as the IGP. For now, you'll have to get used to the new name COP James Opon Bueno as IGP, even though he is only acting.
Gifty Andopia is head of security here at Joy News. With that news desk report. Now, there's growing public agitation over delayed and abandoned work on various road projects in the Ashanti region. Contractors on Lake Bosomtwe, Daban and major roads are currently off-site amid public concerns about the development. For many people, silence of government officials over the issue is as loud as contractors themselves raising questions about funds. MP for Bantama and member of the Parliament's Roads and Transport Committee, Daniel Ochimabwaje, attempted some explanation in an interview with Love FM's David Akwete.
With respect to the 55 million euro that is coming towards this 100 kilometers in Komatmi, once the procurement process are all done, there will be no issue with lack of money or whatever it is. There will be no story.
But the money is in.
David, the money is there because we have signed the contract, have cabinet approval, have parliamentary approval. That when the procurement process is going on, trust me, when it's that, it's shouldn't stop. And when it's that, trust me, I'll raise questions in Parliament on behalf of people who in Kumasi and Ashanti region.
How far have we gone with the procurement process, and how soon would we see work being done?
That is what I was planning to do for you when you called yesterday. Unfortunately, it was a little late. I could not get hold of the regional engineer, Mr. Gambra, to see whether or not he has even descended to the region. But today, when I get to Parliament, I'll be happy to follow up with the ministers. Let's say in a couple of months.
Couple of months. So it could be 2 months. Because earlier you mentioned by end of year. We are in July. So if you're saying end of year, we've got some 5 more months or so to go. If a couple of months and 4 months.
I mean, come on, you're the English. When I say by end of year, I'm just being very conservative. It could be anything within 2, 3, 4 months. That's why.
So can you give us a bit of specifics? You should expect that at least between now and 2 months from now, we should not see the contractors back at work because of the procurement.
David, let me just say this. In 3 months' time, nothing happened. I'll raise a question in Parliament on behalf of people of Kumasi.
Now, the Sector Minister, Kwesi Amoako-Atta, has given contractors 6 months to fix the deplorable Lekma roads a day after work began on the 7.5-kilometer stretch. The minister, who went inspecting commencement of work on the road where Joy News mounted a week-long campaign, says several other bad roads in parts of the country will be fixed before 2020.
I'm giving 6 months. By 6 months' time, I will come here with you, put pressure on me. And I'm telling the people of the Jokuku, it's not only this road. I am tackling a number of the arterial roads. By 2020, the people of the Jokuku constituency see the road infrastructure. They should be calm. They should be cool. And by extension, the people of this country, all roads cannot be done in one day at the same time, simultaneously across the nation. Demonstrations, and what.
The minister, however, had an issue he wanted to get off his chest.
Nobody will be able to mean set agenda. But please don't take camera and come and stand here. Those who want to embark on that route, Omrami Ministry, the bad roads are tackle. One cross one office, Accra. Now one move from region to region. Now one encore broadcasting. If you they broadcast, they call us, and we are working with them. Journalists, you should help us to develop our nation.
But residents say they will hold the minister to account on his latest promise and will ensure work does not stall again. Emmanuel Meto Nunu is president of the Residents Association.
I thank Multimedia a lot because you have a very, very, very big platform, and I think this is being done. I just pray that it's not a 9-day wonder, because as citizens and residents of Teshie, we are going to hold the government accountable and make sure that the road is fixed. After you came here, we are seeing this, and I pray that you come back again and inspect what you are doing.
You heard there the Roads and Highways Minister Kwesi Amoako Atta. The midday news will take a quick break. When we return, we ask, do interns face real challenges on the job, and what does it take to be one? We'll hear from some of them.
Sometimes because you're an intern, people don't take it seriously, and like it will delay your work.
And I had to speak to the chairman for the occasion. He was standing in for the chance.
One time I went to Parliament, so I had to do the interview.
How do you like your fish? Salted, smoked, fried? Well, we have a surprise for you, because this week on the Joy Business Van, we are going fish shopping. And where? To the Adabraka Fish Market.
Currently the biggest fish market in Accra and popular for export, we toured the Adabraka Fish Market and tell you what it has for you.
We go as far as Yendi, Dambai, Aketi and Damani to get assorted fish for our customers in Accra. For those who travel abroad, we package the fish nicely for export.
The Joy Business Van, on TV, radio, online and on ground. It's powered by Joy Business and supported by Ecobank, the Pan-African Bank.
My name is Kwame Sefakai, and most of you know me as a media personality, but I am also a family man. The UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, saves me so much time by letting me do almost all of my banking transactions on my phone. The cardless withdrawal feature allows me to withdraw cash from any UMB ATM without an ATM card. I can also pay bills, transfer money, request for a loan, invest money, and so much more. So now, I can spend less time at the bank and more time with the ones I love. Bank anywhere and anytime with a UMB mobile banking app, UMB Speed App, and get the time to do what you love most. Download the UMB Speed App from your Android, iOS, or Windows phone today. Call 0302-633-988 for more information. UMB Speed App, Digibank, let's go!
Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. Time for sports. Benedict Owusu is in the studios with the latest. Benedict?
Yes, MFI. Former Asante Kotoko coach CK Akono says he's not interested in the technical director role handed him at the club. Now, Akono was asked to relinquish his head coach role 2 weeks ago despite winning the Tier 1 NC special competition. Then the club went on to appoint a new coach in the person of Jetel Zachariasen and subsequently asked CK to be the technical director. But the former Black Stars captain in an exclusive chat with Joy Sports says he's not interested in that role and hence of a legal battle against Kotoko.
That is what it is. I want to do this to the highest level, and so I'll continue to work harder and see the way forward.
I think it's a good time to find out if you are technical director of Asante Kotoko or you are not the technical director.
No, I'm not. For now, I'm not. Yeah.
But there is a letter to that effect.
Of course, these are things that legalities, the lawyers and all that. I'm not perfect in that. I'm not, and so I leave it to those who can handle it very well. Else, I'll mess up.
And finally, so what's going to be the next move for you now?
Well, I'm looking forward to go for an attachment, but it's hard because most of the clubs are in pre-season training, and so I will have to wait a bit when they come back and then see the way forward.
All right, so that's former Asante Kotoko coach CK Akono. For the Chelsea fans out there, there is a pre-season game currently ongoing. You're playing against Barcelona and you're leading by 2-0. That's for sports.
Thank you very much, Benedict. Now, my colleague Fred Smith joins us on the line. We are still staying on roads because news coming in suggests a major road connecting East Legon to the Tetekwashi Medina Highway has caved in, forcing officials to block one side of the road. Fred Smith, Joy News editor Fred Smith, joins us on the line. So, Fred, how serious is this situation?
Well, it is very serious. This has happened at exactly the Ofonglo section where many vehicles connect to East Legon. As we speak, they've cut off half of that road, and so there's heavy traffic build up on the other side because you have one lane catering for two-lane, traffic. And officials are saying it's going to take them about 3 days to fix this. While this is done, they've shut the pipes through the entire eastern part of Accra, and so there won't be water until this is done in 3 days.
But how did this happen?
Well, as Stanley Mate, who's a spokesperson for the Ghana Water Company, explains, there was pressure. He was suggesting that a heavy vehicle may have passed here, and the pressure caused the pipeline to burst underneath. And as the water was spilling underneath, it may have weakened the base. So that resulted in caving in. Investigations are underway, though. They want to conclude that investigation to ascertain what exactly caused this. But initially, this is what he's saying may have caused it.
You heard there, Joy News editor Fred Smith will bring you more in our subsequent bulletins. Now, capital of the newly created Bono East region, Techiman, appears to be losing the fight against filth as heaps of refuse continue to gather in the city. Residents of the commercial hub are at risk of potential epidemic. Despite a report of high prevalence of malaria, cholera and other diarrheal diseases, the local assembly say it lacks the financial muscle to evacuate the refuse. My colleague Ohiming Teria has more in the following report.
Techiman municipality currently generates more solid waste than what it can contain. At least 350 tons of waste is generated every day by residents and about 50,000 visitors it receives every week. Uncleared refuse poses health risk and public nuisance in affected communities. There are 7 of such sites, some as old as 35 years. Charles Echampon-Kwati is Municipal Environmental Health Officer.
The dumps in the community have been there for years. The problem that is posing to the environment is not good. That areas have been served as a opidification for people to do it over there. And when you do opidification, it ends up with eating your own feces because flies will go and sit on your feces, and the next morning the food that you eat first will sit on it. That means you bring the feces back to you, and it causes a lot of health problems.
That's Ohiming Terrier's report from the Bono East region. Now, that was a dire warning today of Ghana returning to the days of the so-called culture of silence where media freedoms were curtailed. Dr. Charles Rekubrobe, the pioneer of private radio in Ghana, has been assessing the performance of government on protecting media freedoms as part of the Defend Media Freedoms campaign. My colleague Evans Mensah has more in the following report.
Press freedom means protection to journalists to go about their work without any form of inhibitions, undue influence,
hindrance or intimidation or fear,
free from harassment.
The campaign was launched yesterday with the backing of the Ghana Journalists Association and the Media Foundation for West Africa. The foundation has in the last year recorded more than 30 cases of assault against journalists. Ghana this year dropped in the World Press Freedom Rankings, losing its #1 slot on the continent. Afomoni is a GJA president.
So the system should be seen to be dealing surgically with the perpetrators of attack against journalists. But what makes it so difficult, hellishly difficult to deal with, is where the perpetrators are so politically connected or they are part of the security system. Then the show continues.
Adding his voice to the campaign, founder of Ghana's first private radio station, Dr. Charles Rekubrobe, says the country is sliding back to the days of the culture of silence.
But it's inadvertently recreating a culture of silence in Ghana. Because
that's such a chilling thing to say.
Because I'm sorry, I need to be very chilling.
You've lived and seen all the governments and so forth. The problem. Yes. Have we improved over the years, or are we retrogressing?
I wouldn't want to give a ranking, except to say that the current government has been the worst.
That is harsh.
It's not harsh.
The Defend Media Freedom campaign will not only create awareness about the need to protect media rights, but also call for action for a more responsible media. The hashtag is Defend Media Freedom.
You heard the Evans Mensah's report, and the hashtag is Defend Media Freedoms. Now, we've been talking about the challenges of internet. Some of them have been speaking to us.
I've actually had great experience with interviews. One time I went for Legon congregation and I had to speak to the chairman for the occasion. He was standing in for the chancellor. I was even about leaving, but when I approached him and told him that I'm from Joy News and I needed to interview him, he welcomed me. He said okay, because He could have said he didn't have time and would have not spoken to me, but he gave me the chance to talk to him and granted us the interview. It's kind of give us more confidence. We build up on our confidence level.
It's been good. In fact, one time I went to Parliament with a parliamentary correspondent, and he was not around at that time of the interview, so I had to do the interview. So at the time I was doing the interview, I had to approach one of the MPs and also, talk to him, engage him about the conversation. So he was welcoming. He didn't have any problem with me.
If you want to go for an interview, you chase the person, that's someone for like 2 or 3 weeks at times, Sometimes because you're an intern, people don't take you seriously and like it will delay your work. But you have to go through it and, resilience. So I try to still not be disturbed by all this. So yeah. It was refreshing. You get to learn more. They should give opportunities to interns to express themselves and to be more involved in the work.
You hear there's some interns interacting with us on the challenges they face, and there's a lot of talk about it on social media. Selina Mampo joins us with what people are saying.
Well, on social media, we all know what's trending, that Adom FM intern who was told off by the sanitation minister. And some of the tweets that are coming in, we have Fidel DK who says the treatment meted out to the Adom FM intern by the sanitation minister is not right and deserves the condemnation it's getting. But let's not pretend as though interns, specifically in the media, are treated right. And Mami Adra also says, Adom FM was wrong for making an intern take the interview. The minister was also wrong in how she handled the situation. She could have done better. More tweets coming in. LFNKI says the intern interviewed the minister in the name of Adom FM, not as an individual. So there's nothing wrong with that. The problem comes when she doesn't act professionally, or she does not act in the interest of Adom FM. More tweets coming in, and I'm sure you can hop onto social media to read them as well.
Interesting comments there. And that's it for the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. The campaign is on. # Defend Media Freedom. There's more news when you log on to my Joy Online. I am MF Apple.